So hello everyone. I'm back with another video. Today I decided to switch it up and do a video about an important subject on something that I have been dealing with for quite some time now. Let me just start from the beginning. I'm Leslie. If you watch my other two videos, I am a mom of two boys, Chase and Cadence. I'll insert their pictures. Cadence, I was a single mom for 5 years, working 2 jobs, going to college. I had postpartum depression when I had Cadence, but it wasn't as bad as it is now. There was an incident when I was on maternity leave with Cadence, where he just would not stop crying. No matter what I did, would not stop crying. So I'd never picked him up. He was still in his crib. And I just remember slamming my hands on the side of his crib, just screaming at the top of my lungs, like, shut up, why won't you stop crying? And I just walked out, closed my door, went into the living room and cried. And my mom came and took him for me for that night. After that one incident with Cadence, I was fine. Shockingly. I don't know if it was because I was in church back then, but I never had another outburst with Cadence. Fast forward 5 years, I'm gonna try not to cry, so work with me here. I had Chase February 15th of this year. I was diagnosed with lupus in 2017, October 1st, 2017. So when I was first diagnosed with lupus and they were going over all the information about it with me and everything that I would be feeling and everything like that, the doctor explained that I will become very depressed. But I'm like, alright, whatever, I'll work through it. It hit me hard once I had Chase. When I first had him, I felt alone. I am with Chase's father, but I felt like there was nobody around for me, and I just cried every night. Mind you, I have 2 boys. I'm working 2 jobs. At the time when Chase was just born, I was going to classes for phlebotomy, and I finished those classes before returning back to work, before my maternity leave was up. After weeks and weeks of crying every night and putting on a happy face in the morning to go to work and around my family, I finally sent a text out to my sister, my cousin, and my sister-in-law. And I explained to them that I really needed them at this time. And if they can just contact me more often, it will be greatly appreciated, because I was depressed. And I didn't know why. That was a huge step for me, because I am a private person when it comes to how I'm feeling. So for me to come out and tell somebody that I'm not okay, it was hard for me. After I explained that to them, it kind of got better. And then just last Tuesday, I had an emotional breakdown at work. Chase was with his dad for those couple of days, and Cadence was diagnosed with ADHD. So once he's off his medicine, I feel like all that energy that he had bottled up from being on his medicine, it just releases. In my mind and how I was feeling, I was just done. And when I say done, I meant like ready to end it all. I was frustrated. I was upset. I know this will sound bad, but I had hate towards my son. And the only reason why I felt that way, because I was just tired of doing it alone. I felt that I understand that I made the decision to have him, and I understand it's not his fault that his dad's not in his life. But I felt alone in taking care of him. It's hard. Trying to work 2 jobs. Trying to handle everything I have to handle with my medical condition. Trying to handle everything I have to handle with Chase's foot, and since he's a newborn, and all his medical stuff, and trying to handle Cadence's medical stuff with his ADHD, and starting to get him ready for kindergarten. And it's like I felt everything was just crushing down on me, and I felt like I wasn't doing a good enough job, and it was time to leave this earth. Tuesday morning, while I was driving my son to my aunt's house so I can go to work, he's just talking to me in the back seat, and I'm just, in my mind, I just feel hate towards him. For some reason, I just hated him at that time. And it crushed me, because I know I don't hurt. I know I don't hate him. I know I don't hurt. I don't hate my child. But at that time, I just felt like everything was his fault. And I just didn't want to be here no more. After dropping him off and going to work, on my way to work, I just needed to talk to somebody so bad. So I called my sister. She was at work, and I just broke down and cried. Like, I need you. And I explained to her what I was feeling, and she tried her best to calm me down, but in the back of my mind, I'm just like, nothing's gonna help. I'm failing. I'm always gonna feel like this because I always have to do it alone, and nobody will ever understand the pain that I'm going through right now. So after talking to her and trying to calm down, I get to work, and before going into work, I put like on this happy face. I wipe my tears. I do some breathing exercises, like nothing happened, just to put on that face. So I walk into work happy, smiling, but in the back of my mind, I'm hurting, like, and I'm contemplating if today's gonna be the last day that I live on this earth. I went into one of the offices of the ladies that I work with, and I'm just asking her questions about the individuals I work with, and she looks at me and she asks me if I'm okay, and I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. You know, just got a lot on my mind. And she closes her door and she goes, "Are you okay?" And I just was like, I'm feeling it today. Like, it's hitting me hard today. So she prayed for me, and I thank her for that. And I needed that. Like, so I leave her office and I go to my other boss's office to ask her a question. Mind you, I'm still smiling, like, you know, fake smile, just so nobody will ask me if I'm okay. So she's like, "Oh, how is everything going?" "Okay, it's going fine." Then she looks me in my eyes and say, "Is it really?" And I broke down. I couldn't keep it in anymore. My boss, the higher boss, she actually asked me if I wanted to be seen at a hospital. So I leave work with her and she brings me to a walk-in. We get to the walk-in. They tell me that they can't do that there. I have to go to an emergency room. So now I'm like, I'm second guessing, like, all right, maybe this is a sign. I don't want to go. But I go. At the emergency room, I experienced something I would never want to experience again. So I'm talking to the person in the emergency room, and she's taking down my information, and she asks me, "Have you ever thought of hurting yourself?" I'm here for help, you know. I say, yes, I have thought of it before. Okay. I go to the back and they treat me like I'm a psychopath, a suicidal psychopath. I go into this room. There's nothing in this room. There's a big mirror, a chair, and then across from the big mirror there's a small mirror that you could tell is a two-way mirror. So I'm not thinking of it, nothing of it. So they tell me I have to leave my bag outside and change my clothes and take everything off except for my underwear. Okay. So I put like these little paper scrubs on, feels like, and then they gave me these hospital socks, and I put the hospital socks over my regular socks, and the lady opens the door and goes, "You have to take those socks off. You can't wear those." And from there I just flipped out and started cursing. So I'm just screaming like, "You're watching me undress," and didn't say nothing. So now my trust for you is gone. I don't want to talk about my issues and I just want to leave. So then they proceed to make me take my bobby pins out my hair, my earrings out my ears, and I couldn't wear my own socks. Okay. And I couldn't wear, I had my Adidas slides on, and I had to walk around the hospital with just those socks on. Okay. Then after I got dressed, they take my bag and they make me sit in a hallway in front of everybody. My boss is still with me. She came with me and I wanted her there, so I felt more comfortable with her being there. I just started crying. And the lady that watched me undress is trying to console me, and I just flipped on her and was like, "I don't want to talk to you no more. I don't want to be here. I want my stuff and I want to leave." So then the doctor comes over and brings me into a room with my boss, and he's asking me questions, and I'm like, "I don't want to talk to you guys." I said, "I don't feel comfortable. You treated me like I'm some type of sociopath. You watch me undress, and then you give me my bag back and you look through my shit." I said, "I don't want to be here. I don't want to talk to you, and I want to leave." So he's trying to convince me to stay for 3 days, and I said, "That's not happening. Give me my clothes back, and I want to leave." Like, my whole bag was like rearranged. Everything in my bag was rearranged. I feel like if that's their protocol, they need to change it. If I'm coming to you with postpartum depression for help, you just now made me not want to talk to you. So you thinking you're helping, you just made it worse. So the doctor leaves, he gives my stuff and my clothes, I change, and he gives me recommendations on therapists to see. Mind you, after that whole situation, I'm still iffy about even talking to anybody anymore. That changed my whole perspective on wanting to get help back to I'll handle it myself. I go back to my boss transports me back to the office because she had drove, because she didn't feel comfortable with me driving at the time. So we get back to the office and she makes me sit down and call the therapy places so I could be I could get an appointment with the therapist. After I've called some places, and everything just kept going to voicemail, I was ready to give up again. Like, I give up quick. I just didn't want to do it anymore. So I go home. Well, I go to my aunt's house because she had called me. Well, I called her and I explained to her what happened on my way home. And I broke down. Like, I broke down. So she wanted me to come over to her house and talk to her. So when I got there, my son came running up to me, and I'm trying not to cry in front of him. And he's like, "Mommy, you're taking me home?" And I'm like, I gotta talk to your aunt real quick. Just go back into the room and watch TV. And he's like, "Okay." So I'm talking to my aunt, and she's trying to calm me down and console me and tell me, like, I just have a lot on my plate and I just need to relax, and maybe talking to somebody is best. But in my mind, I'm like, I just was betrayed by people who I thought would help me. My best friend contacted me. Like, I treated him badly because I just didn't know how to handle it. Like, I was one-wording him and not replying, and that was with everybody that day. And I finally was like, maybe I should go talk to somebody. So I made an appointment with a therapist. And I actually have an appointment tomorrow at 5 o'clock after work. So I'm hoping this works out for the best, because I really don't want to feel like this. I made this video because I know a lot of people take postpartum depression as a joke, or depression of any sort as a joke, and being a witness of what it can do and how it can make you feel. If anybody is going through it, if they could reach out to anybody that would listen, if it's a stranger, if it's a friend, if it's a family, just anybody that would listen. And if somebody's coming to you with depression and please don't take it as a joke. Please don't take it like they're joking, because you never know what their next move might be. The suicide rates have been climbing. Parents are leaving their kids and their family behind. And I know some people that's like, "Oh, I would never leave my child alone. I would never do that. Now their child is hurting." But at the end of the day, when that person is going through something, they're not thinking about their family. They're not thinking that their kids are going to be hurt. All they're thinking about is going through something that nobody would understand, and thinking that that's the best option. And I'm coming to you, and I'm coming to anybody with postpartum depression, with depression, with anything, to not take depression as a joke. I'm here. I listen. I understand. I stand with you. I stand with anybody that's going through this. I will be here if anybody, or if anybody knows anybody, they can contact me any time of day. Just before you make that last move that you think is the right move, just reach out to somebody. And I hope and pray this video can help somebody out there that's thinking that ending their life is the best option right now, or somebody that's thinking that their child is best off without them, or their family's best off without them. Just please think and get help. I'll keep you guys updated on my outcome with therapy and everything, and I hope you all have a wonderful night.